Hey, how's it going, guys? Today we're gonna be starting on some Corvette parts. So I don't think we've really done any videos on the Corvette. It's this guy right here, the 54 that's under plastic. I think Ryan has shown that part, and then the chassis, the black chassis is over on the other side. But right now we're working on the inner sides of all the panels. So like the bonnet cover and stuff like that. We've already got it in like stuff we call slick sand. It's a really high build epoxy primer. But right now what we're working on, Ryan has went ahead and sanded this door jamb. And you can see there's like some nice drain channels down at the bottom of this door. And what I'm doing is basically remaking those. There was just bare, you can see a little bit right there. There's just bare fiberglass in there to create those channels. So I went ahead and used some Duraglass filler, and I'm trying to remake those little channels. So just a little update there. We'll just kind of keep showing you the process as we go. So this is the trunk cover. So you can just get an idea of what it kind of looks like. This is like one half of that high build stuff. So you can see a bunch of pinholes and stuff like that. We're just starting with 80 grit and getting it pretty smooth, and we're just gonna keep high building and blocking until it's all pretty much flat and smooth.
It also gives you an idea of how much work it takes to get these things as nice as they are too.
Right, yeah. Because I've talked about it like with the van. You gotta do, to get it like super straight and not see any scratches, you gotta go, you know, body work, then you gotta go primer 80, primer again 180, primer again 220, primer again 400, and then you're normally good for paint. But sometimes, yeah, it's very time consuming.
All right, guys. Got all the Corvette parts set up in the booth. Now he just filmed us sanding them. Got them all set up, sanded, and ready for slick sand, which is a super high build primer. Almost like liquid Bondo is what some people call it. So Graydon just got it all mixed up, and he's putting the lid on the gun right now, and we'll be catching the video of him spraying it here, and then we'll show you what it looks like after it's done, and then probably tomorrow when it cures up, because this stuff's pretty crazy after it sets up overnight. It really cures up good, so we'll see how it turns out.
So you guys can get a good look at what turned out as after we sprayed the slick sand. Trying to get a nice shot up close. You can see how smooth it is, which obviously we've still got stuff like these pinholes, and then this we're gonna have to address. We didn't even realize that was there, of course, until after we sprayed. But good thing about priming stages is you got a few chances to see everything and catch things that you gotta fix. So a lot of these divot marks will most likely sand out in the next pass of sanding. We're not sure if we're gonna do another 80 grit or go 180, but you can see it's getting a little smoother as we go. So this is the door that was already good on the bottom, and you can see how well it looks just with that pass of slick sand on this one, which, like I said, I'll have more work to do on this, but it looks a lot better since I just put that base of Duraglass on it. So we'll be back sanding this tomorrow. So we use this real cheap black spray paint as guide coat, and basically I'll show you guys what it does, but you just dust it on. Just get a nice coverage right there, just like that, over the whole thing. I'll show you how we use it once we're sanding. For those of you that don't know, this is kind of what guide coat does here. Gets down in all your low spots, so it'll tell you when you're good with being done sanding. So obviously you can see that's when I just barely hit it, and then this is what it'll look like when you're flat with that grit that you're using at that point in time. So just do that for the rest and she'll be smooth.
All right, more vet body panel stuff. So I've been on the trunk and we got it slick sanded, which you would have saw previous to this clip. Got this section sanded through here, got it smoothed out. And the reason we leave this here, get some of this dust out of the way. You can see this fiber looking material. This whole area right there is actually the antenna, believe it or not, kind of cool. But as you can tell, I've started blocking areas that need a little bit of body work. And right here, let you know what's going on, is the actual skins were separating. So the outer skin and this inner skin were separating. So I got that packed full of stuff's called panel bond, and kind of just kept smushing it in there as much as I could and spread it out, and then put the paint stir stick on there with the C-clamps, and that gets the two sandwiched back together and gets them bonded back the way they're supposed to. And that materials, or the panel bond's actually made to do that kind of stuff. So come Monday, we'll give it the weekend dry. I'll be able to break and peel all this crap back off of it, sand it, and should be ready to make forward progress on the trunk. And then Graydon got the hood all resanded in, was it 180?
Some had to do in 180, like these spots right here that are, you can still see lows. I did 180, and then the rest is 220.
Okay, so there you go. So we'll have to go through and address these spots here, use a little bit of glaze putty on those, but for the most part, this bottom is ready for 440, and then paint after we fix those spots. So that's good. Got to get the top caught up, but they're really close. They're super nice. And then he's over here working on the inner doors. This is what the inner door is supposed to look like. You can see these original drain holes in the fiberglass where the two meet together. Yeah, it's supposed to be like that.
I showed a little bit of
what it
looked like.
Okay, well then perfect. We can do this then.
See what it looks like after I sanded the first coat of slick sand.
Yeah, he did a little bit of Duraglass work on it, just as a little bit of a base, and then buried it in slick sand. As you can tell, it doesn't look half bad. So he's mixing up some other filler to go through and get all this stuff looking nice like the other door and get it matching as close as we can. So once he gets that done, the inner door jambs need a little bit of filler work where some pinholes are, which that happens with fiberglass, unfortunately, which I'll show you, kind of like this stuff here. So we'll have to go through and sand and skim coat all that stuff. This is the worst one of the bunch. So this one will kind of take some work. It'll be on the annoying side, but then after we get these caught up, we'll be able to sand the tops of them and be able to move back onto the body. And here's a little corner of it uncovered. We're kind of looking at what we need to assess right now, and it's looking pretty good. So we'll probably start on the door jambs first and we get back on the body, because those are the worst thing. And then we got to do some fiberglass fixing up here. So, and which you will see more of that when we make more progress.
All right, you guys just saw Ryan walk around and kind of show these. I just put one more layer of filler on this. Obviously, you still need to do a lot of sanding and everything. I know not a super eventful video, but these are like the most important steps to making a car look really good. So we obviously want to include that.
All right, we're back from letting that panel bond cure. Just got it, didn't film any of the sanding process or what I had to do to get it off, but I think I left off and filmed a little part myself on C-clamping this piece up where the panels were separating. I think I showed that, but got it all blocked down. And as you can tell, filled in there nice, no more panel separation. Clamped it right back down to where it's supposed to be. So we're gonna continue sanding on it and fill in any of the pinholes we gotta fill in, which I think we addressed in the portion before this. And yeah, I had to end up using a hammer and a chisel to get the paint stir stick off because it was bonded on there so good. But anyway, we got it, so Graydon will probably film a little update when he gets going on the doors. So and we'll just keep going from here.
So we're finally at the last stage of priming. We did 80, 120, and 220, and this was our last prime. As you can see now, I know you pretty much just see orange peel, so that kind of tells you we got most of the scratches out, which was our goal. And at this point, we're just ready to wet sand and it will be ready for paint. So we'll get this all flat and smooth with 400 whenever we're ready, and it'll be ready for paint. So, like I said, I know it was a kind of not a super eventful video, but also this is one of the most important parts of making a show quality paint job, is doing all these steps. So thanks for bearing with us and sticking through it. And we'll catch you guys again whenever we are doing our next thing. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but you'll see it